And welcome to Mock the Week. I'm Dara Breen. Joining me this week are Andy Parsons, Catherine Ryan and Ramesh Ranganathan, Ed Byrne, Hugh Dennis and Milton Jones. We start with a game called Picture of the Week. I show the panel a topical image and ask them to tell me what's happening. So, everybody, what's going on here?
Is it Nigel Farage meets UKIP's youth wing?
Is it Nigel Farage attempts ill-advised Chinese impersonation?
Is it unnoticed by the two men? The assassin slipped behind them and gave the candidate the Vulcan death grip.
Farage does look like he's actually going... He thought he'd win.
Sort of looks like he's pointing at the button that activates him.
You press the yellow button, casual racism comes out.
Is it to hear the UKIP manifesto? Pull my finger.
Is he in fact just introducing the winner of the UKIP Best in Show?
Is that bloke behind a bouncer? And he's saying, no, you can't come in. See how you like it.
So, in summation, who is this?
Is he not? He's called Roger Helmer, isn't he?
That's the chap.
Yeah. He's the UKIP candidate for Newark, in the Newark by-election, in which they came second.
They did.
So why he's pointing at him like that is presumably going, loser!
Yes, it's a picture of Nigel Farage and the UKIP candidate for the recent Newark by-election, Roger Helmer. After a recent victory in the European elections and council gains in the local elections, UKIP went on to come second in this important by-election, cutting the Tory majority by more than half. How are we enjoying the Nigel Farage earthquake at the moment?
Well, the fact that this man came second and has been deemed the picture of the week is an example of how it is UKIP have managed to do as well as they have.
Yeah, there is a touchdown, isn't there?
They do feel slightly overrepresented by this particular television channel.
Could you... I think it's an excellent point. Could you, for example, name the winner of the Newark by-election?
No, I understand he was a member of the Conservative Party.
Yeah.
But they're not nearly as exciting.
Can you tell us where Newark is?
That is an excellent question, and it's just outside New Jersey, isn't it?
Newark is actually an anagram of Nigel Farage's nickname.
What? Cron?
I love the way that they clapped at different times, depending on how quickly they got it.
There is an element of chase going on there.
Come on.
I think people quite like Nigel Farage because he's a bit of a colourful character, which is ironic.
To defend him, he is in no way a closet racist. A closet racist is someone who doesn't like people from Narnia.
The thing that I think is, actually we should be talking about immigration now, because it's a good thing that he's put it on the table, because, a lot of Europeans are coming into the country and taking jobs that my parents worked so hard to steal in the 70s.
And on behalf of the Irish, we were quite irritated at the time. Because we'd done a good job of nicking those jobs in the 50s, and then you arrive in, waving spices and whatnot. We had no response to that.
Well, listen, if UKIP get in, it is you who are in trouble, because it is, taking jobs from British people is their big worry, isn't it? This will be Mock the Week with Sue Barker.
She's the natural second choice. When I finally get deported, exactly. Sue Barker's will be stepping into all my jobs. Yeah.
I think you'll find, though, it was the spices from the East and the Irish cuisine that joined together to form the potato wedge. A beautiful thing.
Nigel Farage, he said there was going to be a flood of Bulgarians and Romanians coming over on New Year's Day. Turns out there are now, in fact, 4,000 less Bulgarians and Romanians in the country now than there were last year. So obviously the Bulgarians and Romanians who were in the country suddenly heard that all these other Bulgarians and Romanians were coming to Britain, and they thought, well, that's why I left the country in the first place.
It works both ways, though. It works both ways, and the British are even sneakier at getting into countries. I keep having British children. They sneak in through my body, and then they talk like this way. And they love queuing, and they eat beans and toast. I don't know where they're coming from.
I think you need to address your open-door policy there.
At me a couple seconds ago, but you just thought of that and were laughing at yourself and waiting to say it.
I'm really quite pleased with myself.
To be honest, he's still laughing at Potato Rachel.
He's on a bit of a run at the moment.
When Farage made these racist comments about Romanians on LBC, he blamed the fact that he was tired. And you're thinking, well, if tiredness is an excuse for racism, the Metropolitan Police must be bloody knackered, mustn't they?
The other one he said was he felt uncomfortable on train. You get on a train out of London and he would hear foreign languages being spoken. And you kind of go, if you're in the train out of London and the ticket officer came on and suddenly he started going, Fahrkarten bitte! Wo ist deine Papieren? Wo ist deine Papieren? You would wake up and go, it was all a dream! We didn't win the war! Oh, no!
Was that just an excuse to show off your variety of accents?
I have lots of accents. It's very, very good. Maybe you'd like to hear my Spanish accent. Hola, ¿qué tal? It's quite beautiful. It's very good.
The issue that I have is that, you know, UKIP sort of attracting votes from sort of the elderly, you know, that this is sort of who are increasingly supporting them. And the thing is that you get worried because you think, well, I've sort of had more racist experiences from elderly people and you can sort of understand how this comes about. But I actually think that elderly people should just be allowed to be racist because, like, they've got enough shit going on in their lives, like, without having to re-educate themselves. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've pissed myself, I've got 2 false hips, and now I can't say darky. Like, it's... I'm quite happy to make him feel comfortable, bump into an elderly person, just give him the old wobble head to make him feel all right.
That UKIP's on telly all the time, even though they've got no MPs in the House of Commons. Because, Dara, you've got no MPs in the House of Commons and you're on telly all the time.
All right. But I have an inclusive manifesto. Moving on, which top Tories have angered David Cameron this week?
His children.
No.
Probably have.
It's Michael Gove.
It is Michael Gove and...
Theresa May.
Yes, and Theresa May.
Yeah.
Who, actually, yes... It does look like... Say sorry to your sister. Say sorry to your sister. You are not getting any tea until you say sorry to your sister.
I think we should give him credit because, you know, for him to get to that position and have a face that is that punchable, I think is an achievement.
Why, by the way, why... So what was the story with it? Why are they...
Well, it's all an argument about supposedly dangerous extremism in Birmingham schools.
Yes.
But you're thinking, surely everybody who's ever grown up in Birmingham has thought about blowing up most of Birmingham at some point or another.
It's caused big problems in Birmingham, though, hasn't it? I mean, sort of community problems, the radicalisation of schools on one side against the other. There was this brilliant thing in The Guardian which said... So there was a community leader said there was a wider concern that there may be a witch hunt against Muslims, he said. And then in a phrase which you may want to reconsider, he said, in which case, all stakeholders will need to work together.
It's not nice, though, to have another culture imposed on you at school. I remember when I was rushed to hospital with 80% Chinese burns.
I thought the key to, you know, whether a school is being radicalised, the clue really is in the nativity play, isn't it? When the 3 wise men come from the east, they're found to be on false passports and they're arrested under the Prevention of Terrorism.
I think having, you know, religious extremism taught in schools, it doesn't really do anyone any harm. I mean, I had fairly extremist religious, you know, schooling when I was a child, and I feel perfectly well integrated with you hideous, proddy dogs. Do you find you get on with this vermin perfectly
very
well?
well. They're all going to hell and going to die, so it's fine. But, you know, and we'll laugh at them from Catholic heaven. And what's suggested to be made for Ofsted inspectors? How should they change the way they do this because of this?
They said that they were going to have dawn raids, which I thought was probably unlikely to yield many results, given that schools don't open at dawn.
Just breaking a door, just like a janitor, just... What you? We don't open for another 2 hours. He was raising a gondola.
Is this doing the more canals than Venice?
More canals than Venice, Birmingham. This is how janitors get to work in Birmingham. They ride the canals. At the end of that round, the points go to Romesh, Catherine and Andy. Our next round is called Newsreel. We play in a recent piece of footage featuring people in the news and ask you to suggest what might be being said. This week's clip features David Cameron and the England football squad.
Oh, good morning. You must be Roy Hodgson, that's right, yes. But I'm the Prime Minister. I'm not quite sure why I'm here. My driver dropped me off this morning. I was hoping you might be able to elucidate for me.
Well, certainly. We're heading off to the jungle very, very soon, and...
I understand you're off to the jungle. I love that programme. You must be Ant, and you must be Dec. I love the Bush Tucker trials. I've had to swallow a lot in my career, yes. Pride, mainly, at the European elections.
No, I think we've misunderstood, Prime Minister. It's football. This is Daniel Sturridge, our centre-forward.
Lovely to meet you. No idea who you are. So tell me, what will the crowds be like at the World Cup?
Well, Brazilians, mainly.
How will you know? Will they not be wearing shorts? Who did you say you were, mate?
Ricky Lambert.
No, doesn't ring any bells. 1, 2, 9, 12, 26. No, that don't work. No. Anyway, there I was. I slept and Demba Ba scored, so that was it for the Premiership, yeah.
No, I saw that. That was hilarious.
Yeah, well, at least we didn't come 7th, eh? You heard.
So, Wayne,
what do you reckon to the group? What do you reckon to Costa Rica?
Well, I like them, but I normally go to Cafe Nero.
Yeah. This is what happens when they score. You just drop to the halfway line, you go this way to abuse the referee, and then this way to tell the linesman to fuck off.
So, very good, James, very good, but just tell me one thing. Does my paunch look big in this?
Anyway, here we go. That's me, Ricky Lambert. Pass the ball to Ricky. Ricky's ball. Ricky, I'm Ricky Lambert here. I'm in on merit. Ricky Lambert, pass the ball. I'll show you what I can do. Right? Oh, bollocks.
Well done here. OK, now we play a round called the Archbishop of Banterbury. This game involves Romesh and Milton, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launch the wheel of news, and whoever chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. The winner is whoever I think is the funniest, OK? Here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is going out. Who wants to come out? Romesh.
I don't like going out. Don't like going out because I don't look as good as I used to, and I worry about it. I've put on weight, and I think, oh, I don't look all right. And then I think, hold on a minute, I'm married. I don't need to look good. I just need to look better than the prospect of single parenting. And I think I've got that in the tank, you know what I mean? I went out a while ago, and I was out with my friends. We're all in our 30s. We look like awful tribute acts of us in our 20s, and there's guys there that are in their 20s looking ripped and amazing, and I'm thinking, are they going to make us feel bad? Are they going to make us feel awkward? Are they going to make us feel like we're stepping on their turf? And the truth is, they ignore us. Of course they do. Why would they care? See a pride of lions hunting gazelle, they're not going to give a shit when a three-legged hyena rocks up, are they? Comes to the end of the night, this absolutely gorgeous girl walks up to me, does not break eye contact for a second. I said, hello, this is happening. Can phone my wife, tell her I've still got it. The girl walks up to me, says to me, no word of a lie, taxi for Rachel.
Thank you very much, Romesh. That leaves us with Milton. Let's see what topic you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. topic is romance.
I met my wife on the net. We were both rubbish trapeze artists. Terrible, isn't it, when someone doesn't want to live with you anymore? Part of you is thinking, I don't think you're going to survive in the real world. Another part of you is thinking, well, at least I'll be rid of your drunken arguing. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to let the Scottish people go. Any Scottish people here? You can go. A girl came up to me the other day, started going, foot loose, then her foot fell off. I tried to impress a girl once by putting my foot down on the pedal. Turns out she'd seen a bin open like that before. A girl came up to me once, she said, you know, I can tell someone's personality by what kind of car they drive. I said, I haven't got one. So lads, do you ever get given a job to do and you deliberately do it really, really badly so you never get given that job again? I mean, I hardly know CPR anyway. My wife's giving me the silent treatment at the moment, lying there day after day, beginning to smell a bit now.
OK, point to both of you there. Come on back. All right, the next round is called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Catherine, which category would you like?
Sport.
OK, your category is sport. And the answer is 32 days. What is the question?
Is it at what age was Ramesh able to achieve a full beard?
It's a celebration. It's a celebration of your culture.
Is it, according to the people I recently bought a couch from, how long is 10 working days?
Is it due to BBC budget cuts? How far into the future is Doctor Who going to be travelling in the next series?
How long was my friend Lee in hospital when we saw the sign for Burnley?
Is it how would Joey Essex describe a fortnight?
The total amount of time that an average Big Brother contestant has spent in full-time education.
How long does it take the Elephant Man to exfoliate? Oh, what? Yeah.
Too soon?
Yeah. According to his tax return, how many days did Gary Barlow work last year?
Is it the number of days before One Direction can safely give a urine sample?
Is it? Can you think of a rhyme for songs of praise?
They're really getting
I think I've actually genuinely lost my mind.
OK, we need to move towards the correct answer if we can, please.
What length of menstrual cycle would keep you permanently nervous?
Is it how long the World Cup is going to last?
Yes, it is. Oh. Very, very good. Thank you very much, Catherine. Yes, of course. The question I was looking for was, how long will the 2014 World Cup tournament last? This is the 20th World Cup that kicked off in Brazil tonight. Tonight, I feel awful for reminding you of that. And thus the last 15 viewers go, oh, I've forgotten. Are you all looking forward to the World Cup? Are you going to enjoy it?
Well, you know, the heat is going to affect us in the first game. Apparently they're worried the heat is going to affect decision-making capabilities. Now, let's face it, Wayne Rooney's decision-making capabilities weren't at their strongest anyway. You know, wife or prostitute, prostitute, young or old, young or old.
Now, I can confirm it's true. I've made some big mistakes in Ibiza.
They're apparently going to lose 10 points of fluid. You're thinking, if Wayne Rooney plays 90 minutes, he's going to evaporate.
The worry about that, though, is that they will consume 10 pints of fluid before they go on.
I presume they realise it doesn't have to be beer. Have they not?
It doesn't have to be beer, but it had to be beer for the joke, darling.
How are the Brazilians going to make sure fans are safe?
Not at all. They keep themselves safe with giant RoboCop costumes, but I don't see how that helps the fans.
Well, the idea is that because Brazil is riven by riots, they're presenting their new crowd control outfits, which for some reason were presented in a Regency drawing room. No. You have 10 seconds to comply. 10 seconds.
That is, in fact...
But Mr. Darcy, with this new riot shield...
It's, in fact, the new janitor's uniform at Birmingham schools, that is.
He won't be able to punt the school in that. No, he didn't get the answer.
They've got policemen in these RoboCop things, but please God, they've told the policemen that they're not actually RoboCop.
No, the idea is that there's face recognition software, apparently, that they'll be able to use.
Like eyes?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, are you saying that Brazilian policemen don't know what a face looks like?
No, specific faces. Not just arse, elbow, face. No, but I would say this is the bad guy. The face would come up.
I would love that if I was able to wear something that then would just, like, in my ear go, that's Diane, she's a friend of your girlfriend's sister, that kind of thing, you know.
Yes, I have to say, it doesn't feel like the country's got football fever. Like, you know, there aren't taxis with the George's cross in the window. There's a lot less of that than there used to be. The only piece of really exciting memorabilia we found was a thing that was on sale in Asda during the week. This is great. It's great for a number of reasons, not least the name of it, which we can show it's called Wearing Flag. I got me wearing flag.
Not wearable.
Not wearable, not to be worn. Me wearing flag. And then you actually get the flag out, like whatever. And it might seem slightly transgressive to anyone watching now that I would now drape myself in the English flag, but trust me, it is worth it, because it has been slightly controversial, this one, for reasons I can't quite figure why this has been as controversial as it has been. I can't see any kind of negative connotations with this at all.
I'll tell you what, that Gandalf's let himself go, hasn't he?
Ramesh, if you're walking down the street and a number of men, enthusiastic English supporters, happen to be walking down the street towards you, they'd just been to Asda, they'd also bought the burnable lawn crosses, which Asda are selling. It's bizarre. Oh, you'll find the Death Star will be quite operational when your friends arrive. Sorry. That's fantastic.
The thing is so difficult is you look racist, but you look so adorable.
What would help is if you had a flake sticking out.
OK, at the end of that round, the point's going to Ed, Hugh and Milton. Now we come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, I'll read out this week's topics and then we'll see what our panelists can come up with. OK, here we go. The first subject is things you wouldn't hear during an election campaign.
I know we didn't follow through on all that bollocks we said before, but this time we really mean it.
We in the Green Party think we've had a cracking election. Nobody's voted for us, but they've put all the election literature from us in the correct recycling bin.
We will get rid of obesity by making the doors to chip shops really narrow.
I visited a factory today, and the man let me ride on the forklift. It was good.
We are not a racist party, though we are throwing a racist party tonight for Nigel's birthday.
Farage, This is my bunk bed. UKIP on the top bunk.
For goodness sake, Boris, when we said press the flesh with the electorate, we meant shake hands.
I'm probably going to vote Lib Dem.
I think the best way for me to explain why you should vote Conservative is with this rap.
Nick Clegg has demanded a recount. Here we go. 1. Happy now?
The public have spoken, and they said that I'm a knob.
We will shorten the waiting list for eye operations by building hospitals on the far side of busy roads.
We plan to replace the glass ceiling for women with something much easier to clean.
OK, the next topic is unlikely film trailers.
One man fights his greatest peril. Laryngitis.
Troy, certificate 15. If you're too young, why don't you make a giant wooden adult?
Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler in. Well, don't matter, does it? It's going to be shit anyway.
A UKIP film presentation, 101 Damn Asians.
Tom Cruise in the most ludicrous sci-fi thriller yet, a Scientology documentary.
This summer, Russell Crowe is punching people randomly in the face.
From the makers of Kaka 1. Kaka 2.
Do you want to build a snowman? Do you want to have the words to let it go in your head all the time until you die? Then come see Frozen. I
dare you. Thor. You'll be amazed at how many problems can be solved by a big man with a massive hammer.
I Can't Read Productions presents Salmon Fishing in the Seaman, Yemen.
Look, an ancient African city. From the makers of Timbuk 1.
Russell Crowe stars as Bob Marley. The accent's so offensive you won't even care that he blacked up.
No, this isn't the day the Earth stood still. It's just that you're in Norfolk.
Tom Cruise. Explosions. A flash of boob. That'll do you.
Despicable Me 3, now starring as the arch-villain Gru, Dara O'Brien.
It looks like a runner bean, only smaller. From the makers of Mange 1.
I only told you to blow the bloody door off. In cinemas now, the Oscar Pistorius story.
At the end of that round, the points go to Ed Hewitt Milton. And And that's the end of the show. This week's winners are Ed Byrne, Hugh Dennis and Milton Jones. Commiserations to Andy Parsons, Catherine Ryan and Ramesh Ranganathan. Thank you for watching. I'm Darren Breen. Good night.
Join the gang again next Thursday at 10. Tomorrow, comedy at its fastest and finest with a Fast Show special at 10. While next tonight, it's Newsnight, including an interview with Hillary Clinton.